technology, and number one, you can't stop it. It's here. You got to embrace it. You got to learn it, and then you got to use it because it'll make your life better. But at the end of the day, it's all still relationship based. Like, we're using technology, you and I, to know each other and to reach the masses, but it's based on relationships at the end of the day.
All right. Mindset. Where's your mindset? Where's that thermostat set for success in your business, whether it's health or spiritual or financial? There's so many different levels of mindset to think about to get where you want to get and go where you want to go in life. Today, we're really excited to bring you a very special guest. And before we do, we want to encourage you to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. A big thank you to Liftoff Agent, #1 marketing position agency, for sponsoring the show. And without further ado, let's bring Tricia on to Real Estate vs. Technology. Excited to have you on the show with us today.
Hey guys, happy to be here for sure.
Awesome. So I was actually watching one of your videos on Facebook, and you were just talking about all things, as far as people being on the fence post from buying homes because of interest rates. You talked about how you don't have a crystal ball, but don't sit, make it happen, and do what you got to do to get it done. I love the fact that you're just a go-getter, 1,000+ homes sold, American Dream Home TV, writing a book on mindset. So let's get into all the things. First and foremost, it looks like everything started with real estate. Why real estate?
I didn't like school. That's number one. So crazy. Yeah, I got kicked out of my house when I was 17, quit school when I was 17, went and got my GED, right? And decided, all right, what am I going to do? And I tried the whole college thing for like a year and a half just to go through the motions I guess that same old. Didn't like that. And my dad was like, well, I know you can go to real estate school and you don't have to go for a long time. And I think you would be really good at this. And boom, that's it, and went through a divorce. I was even a lender for 6 years through this journey. So I've been doing this for about 22 years and was a lender during it for about 6 years. Went through a crazy divorce in 2008 during the mortgage industry crash, which sucked.
Wow.
And and I had 3 little kids then, littles. Yeah. And went through 8, 9, and 10, like not enjoying life at all and like maxing out my credit cards, $100,000 in debt. And decided, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to sit in this poor me mentality. I'm going to go out there and kill it. Like no days off. Going with me to open houses, everything. And that's the way it's been. And I trained myself and it's no days off for me, period. And we just continued to go.
Wow, that is amazing. So kudos to you. Had that double whammy and kept on moving forward. How old are your kids now?
Now they're 25, 23, 21.
Wow, that's awesome. So mom did what she had to do.
You got to make it happen. Like there's no excuses. I tell people that in my group. I'm like, let me tell y'all something. I have like zero respect for people that don't want to get up and do the work every day. Don't call me and be like, oh, I don't feel good. Oh, my kid's sick. Because guess what? I was a single mom with 3 littles, like in a commission-based income. Guess what? If I can, you can too.
Amen. 100%. I'm trying to tell my 5-year-old daughter that now because she's complaining about all the little things. And we just got back from California yesterday, my wife and I, and it's just like, okay, girlfriend. Life's good, but you got to kind of train them, right? And we're going to talk about that in today's episode as far as mindset and what that looks like. So 1,000+ homes sold. And during that time, was there systems or processes or technology that you use to facilitate that process?
Yeah, 1,000%. In the beginning, there was really no one that trained me. I was at every big box company out there and the doors were closing. No one was opening the door going, hey, here's a lead. Hey, call this person, do this. There was none of that because they saw me as a threat because I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. So it was just pure grit and getting up and grinding every day and learning what didn't work and then what does work, and because of all of that, like hustle and grind and people closing the door on me and the yes, you can mentality, it's like I have a passion for people to not have to go through what I did. And so we've spent in my company the last, probably 3 years building out systems, processes, tools, you name it. We're doing it for you, automations. Like I want you to be able to automate things that no one ever showed me to do, period.
Yeah. 100%. I think that's a big thing too with a lot of individuals in the industry is those standard operating procedures, those key performance indicators. And like, you don't have to go chase the next shiny syndrome. There's a lot of agents out there like shiny syndrome, right? Oh, look at all the things. It's like, if it works, work it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So for the viewers and listeners, there's anything that sticks out that's been really successful for you, whether it's a social platform or a video or just a standard procedure that you've seen in even just a follow-up to your past clients that's really worked over the years? Maybe a golden nugget you could share with our audience.
I'm going to tell you what, like, first of all, you have to structure your day. I'm all about structuring your day. Your freaking Google Calendar better be your best friend. Like,
Ooh.
my life, and I developed that in 2010. Again, I were a divorce in '08, and I hated my ex-husband. I needed to like find a way not to hate him. And so I used to get up at 4 a.m. I still do. And that's when I implemented this 4 a.m. wake up call for me, because I needed that like time in the mornings to get my mind, body, and soul right. And that was like structuring my day. I'm a mom. I got 3 little kids, and this is my only time by myself. And then like, I only got so many hours during the day because I got to pick them up from school. I'm everything, right? So I got to make it happen. So you got to be able to do a lot of work in a condensed amount of time. And now that my kids are older, of course, it's carried over. And now I'm even more like diligent about my calendar. And everybody else is like, the real estate agent, most of them get out there, and as soon as their phone or their alarm goes off, they're on social media and they're looking at Instagram about who got new shoes or who got a new car, who got divorced. It's like, what? Get up and like plan your day. And so for me, I would say Google Calendar #1, and then spending at least 30 minutes organizing like that top 3 to 5. What are you doing that day? What are you going to do before you end your day? Period. Whether you end your day at midnight or whatever time it is, make sure these things are done. Stop putting it off for tomorrow. Because what if tomorrow never comes, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And I just want to say for the viewers and listeners out there, when you live and die by the calendar, and whether it's using Calendly.com or you have your calendar linked to automations and processes, it's nice to wake up and look at your calendar and see what you have going on there. I know a lot of newer agents maybe might not have a lot going on, so you have to fill that calendar. And it's nice when you fill it up for 1, 2, 3 months down the road, where this podcast was part of. I can imagine, Tricia, this is already on your schedule maybe months ahead of time, so you already knew what was going to happen. And so you wake up in the morning. Even Ryan Serhant says it, one of the biggest real estate brokers in the world, right? He checks his calendar the night before, goes to sleep, premeditated, wake up, boom, let's go.
I'm the same way. And it's crazy. So he's like, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. I've got 1,000 minutes mapped out every single day. I know exactly what I'm doing. That's my life. I live the same way. And when you live like that, like, it's kind of like creating that life by design. Like, when do I want to stop working? What does my day look like? Am I working past 5? Am I working past 8? What does that look like? But so many people don't plan at all. They just react.
Yes, life by design. I preach that all the time. I absolutely love that. And a big thing that people understand is everything, even from tracking your macros, which I do in my Fitness Pal, it's making sure that you're on top, because everything's a process, everything's a system, and the time frame that you have in the day, like Ryan says, you only have so much time in the day. So how do you maximize every single piece of that time, whether it's, taking that break or a nap, to even making sure you're booked out for your calendar for appointments and scheduling and things that you have going on. So question. So it looks like here investing into RV parks. And so let's touch a little bit on that. So is this for passive residual income for you? Are you helping other people do that? I'm curious to learn a little bit more about that.
No, for me, because I've been in real estate for 22 years. And again, I was a single mom, like forever. I raised my kids by myself. So in a commission-based income, the market changes like the stock market. Like, we're going to have a good year, we're going to have a bad year. And you got to be able to prepare and pay your freaking bills and take care of your family. And so you've got to find a way to build wealth. There's no other way to build wealth until you can get that passive income going. Warren Buffett said the key to wealth is by making sure that your passive income at least covers what your monthly expenses are, minimum.
Amen.
And so there's no way to do that by doing real estate transactions, because things can happen. What if you get cancer and you can't work? You got to have that monthly money coming in. So what I've done, because I am very busy, I have multiple businesses going on. I do still sell homes because I run a big organization. We've got like 45 agents in our organization, and I'm responsible for them. So I'm in the trenches with them. So I'm not going to be out there looking at deals. I'm not going to be out there trying to micromanage deals. I can't. I partner with people. And so we flip, we do RV parks, we do all of that stuff, but I have partners. So I'm pretty much just like an investor in it. And I'm letting them do the nitty gritty, them do the day to day. Some of these flips that I get involved in, I don't even see them. I actually haven't seen the last 4 of them. I've seen a finished product. I haven't seen where I go. I don't even know what neighborhood it's in, but I know it's working because I trust the people that I partner with.
Amen. 100%. No, it's very true. I think viewers and listeners out there do have to think about what they're doing to invest, right? Leverage your past efforts for future successes, reinvest that money. My wife and I also are in fix and flip as well, and short-term Airbnb type rentals. And it's so smart because you got to have that passive residual income. So that way you don't have to be so under so much pressure or stress or go to the next appointment for who's new out there. And then you're bleeding commission breath, or you're praying and asking for the deal because you need the money to pay the next bill, right? I could only imagine.
Well, so check this out. When you look at like I drive around, there's RV parks everywhere, and some of them are in the middle of nowhere. Like, why does anyone want to park an RV here? This is not even like pretty. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because if you look at the cost of living, apartments are like out of control and they're not going to come down. Inflation's out of control. Interest rates are sky high right now, or higher than they have been. Home values aren't going down. They're continuing to go up. So you got these people that are on fixed income, a lot of them, unfortunately, elderly, and they're getting priced out of like being able to live anywhere but in an RV park. Because you can literally pay your rent on your pad. You can go buy one of these things, and your payment, you can live in an RV for less than $1,500 a month. Easy.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a big thing that's happening out here too in Arizona. So I'm here out Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler. So a lot of snowbirds are coming from up in the Canada area. They come down here and then they get these locations because of the fact that they want to have retirement locations, or also they can't afford. So it makes a lot of sense where they have to go into a double wide or single wide. Unfortunately, it's a lot rent, but they don't have to take care of all the other things, and then they can get something for cheaper and still be able to live and what have you. So no, that's a really good point. And I definitely on the same page with that for sure on that. So I heard something about something you're working on, a book about mindset. I want to get a little bit into this book, what you're writing on, what you're writing. Viewers and listeners out there, links are down below. Instagram's behind me. Make sure go and follow and like and connect with Tricia outside of just this podcast. So that way you can keep in contact with her and learn about what she's doing and learn about this book. So is this something that's going to be sooner or later coming out? And how much can you give us as far as information so we could share with our viewers and listeners?
Yeah. So it's been on my heart for years because I have all the things that I've been through and things that I, will share, of course. And it's all about mindset. Like I said, when I went through that divorce and that was a super hard time in my life, and there were no deals coming in. My mom passed away during that time. I had these little kids with special needs, and like it was up to me. And so I had to get my mind right. I've always worked out, but it was like getting my mind and my soul right. So that morning routine was critical. And I developed it in 2010. And to this day, it's like sticks with me. It defines who I am. It defines what I do. And so I had a collaborative book. I've done 2 in the last year. One came out last month, and it was Women That Boss Up in Real Estate. And I was like, that's just a glimpse about my life. That's a chapter, And so I got to talking to a writer because I'm not one that's going to sit and write. I'm a visionary. Like I can spit it out all day long, but I'm not going to sit still and document it all. But I will tell you all that I need to say. And so it's in the works now called Yes, You Can, because there's so many people that are like, oh, I can't, like I work out and I work out hard, and every day it's like, one more rep, or if I'm on my Peloton, it's like, I got to do 5 more minutes. Like, and the instructor's like, yes, you can. Like, dig deeper. Like, yes, you can. You're only cheating yourself. If you're going to tell yourself you're going to work out for an hour and you only work out for 45 minutes, but you got and tell people you worked out for an hour, you're only lying to yourself. I mean, like, why do we live like that? But it's the world that we live in today. There's like, for some reason, there's an okay to be mediocre, and it's okay to be average, and it's okay to quit, and it's okay to be weak and not have money and not be able to pay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Like, why do you want to live like that? I don't know. That doesn't inspire me. So I want to be the one that's out there to be like, yes, you can. I look at people that have done more than me and are doing more than me, and it's not that I covet them. They inspire me. It's like, you're no smarter than me. Maybe you've been just in this longer, or maybe you just got aligned with the right people. So they tell you to find people that are doing what you want, and then you model what they do, period. And they also tell you that most people that are successful, they're up before the sun, right? They're up. Yep. And they're studying every day. They don't go a day without reading, listening to podcasts, listening to something to help their mind, to grow their mind, which is what we're doing right here on this podcast.
Yep, 100%. And that's a great thing about podcasts, right? I think anyone who's viewing and listening as well, it gives us an opportunity to be able to go deeper with someone like you and I. We've never met before, and now we have this opportunity to vibe out over a podcast, and then to think about the mindset side of things. Like, whoa, okay, like we're more connected than maybe thought. And for me, I'm not feeling so good, but I'm not making that an issue, right? I'm not making that an excuse. I'm like, I got a podcast, I'm going to show for Tricia. I have these things to do. I just was traveling past 4 days in California. Now I'm back home. Just got off flight yesterday. Let's go. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? They need time to waste.
Like, what are you going to do? You're going to be a quitter and be like, oh, I can't show up today. Yes, you can. Why can't you?
Yes.
Did your legs get chopped off or something? You don't have arms all of a sudden today? Because you do.
Yep.
Like I can do it. So can you. And
Amen.
it's because I still run this big real estate organization, and now it's growing like insane because we train people like crazy because I'm obsessed with it. You have to get obsessed with like what you want your life to look like. And then I look at people and I'm like, why do you not want to sell 100 homes a year? Like you can do it. Like I'm going to show you everything, all the tools. Here it is. Systems, tools, processes. Boom. You just got to do the work. That's it. It's like, I wish I had somebody like me years ago when I was trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. What 100%. I think a lot of individuals get caught up on a lot of various things, but I feel like you said life by design. What do you want? And if it's not money, then what could you buy with potentially money or donations or travel in the world or whatever it is? I think that so many people just get caught up and also self-worth. Maybe they don't think that they're worth enough, or someone's in their ear. Like you said, be around the right-minded people that are going to lift you up and serve you and support you to get to that next level and help you grow, which is huge. And that's why I think that, check out Tricia. Our links are down below. I can imagine you're expanding your team. It sounds like you are. So you could definitely be someone who's listening or viewing that's connecting with you. That's why we love doing what we do here, Real Estate First Technology, to be able to connect individuals like we're connecting us. And then who knows who else is watching or listening to the podcast as well.
Yeah, for sure. Technology, and number one, you can't stop it. It's here. You got to embrace it. You got to learn it, and then you got to use it because it'll make your life better. But at the end of the day, it's all still relationship based. Like we're using technology, you and I, to know each other and to reach the masses, but it's based on relationships at the end of the day. And people don't want to blend the two, but they go together. You have to have both.
Yes, you do. You 100% do. And I was interested. I was in California, and here in Arizona, people wave and they smile at each other, and it's just so more open. And went to California, and everyone's just either on their phone or looking down or whatever else. And it's just like, what is going on here? Like, where did we lose the human touch to connect with one another, support one another, and just be able to, meet someone who, whatever, they're strangers. But if you get a bad vibe, walk away. If you get a good vibe, go deeper. That's why I love doing what we're doing here, because there's so many amazing individuals like yourself that are just absolutely crushing it. And people are just losing opportunity because either their self-worth or they're too busy on their phone, or they just don't look up and look at someone in the eye and wave or smile or whatever. It doesn't take much.
Yeah. And I think people are lost. I really feel that. It's like people need hope. I mean, last year in the real estate world, real estate was hard. That was one of the hardest years that we've seen in 2 decades. And here's 2024. It's end of February, basically. We're seeing hope. Yes, but we're not seeing where we need to be for sure. So could it be another hard year? Yes. So what should you do? Do you freaking stick your head in the ground and cry and, oh, woe is me? No, you freaking put your big girl pants on and you get out there and you fight your face off. Not today. And I'm going to take you down. Like it's now. It's go time. Period.
It's go time. 100%. I feel like a lot of things too from the past history of the powers of be, the school system, what have you, not going too deep into that. They're not serving and supporting us to figure out what is our passion and what is it that you want to do. A lot of times it's like, oh, you want to be a nurse or practitioner or doctor or whatever else. And it's the same old song and dance. But with entrepreneurship and with real estate and with investing, there's so many technology and Bitcoin, and there's so much going on now that it's exciting to see what's next. And like you said earlier, you said in the show, I wish I learned what I learned earlier, but you wouldn't be who you are today. Right? Serving and supporting and helping so many people, which is just amazing. And so, I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for us to help more people figure out what the hell do you want? Like,
you know what? You just said something that made me think of something. I had a conversation, how wildly blessed being an entrepreneur can be. I had a call last night with a friend of mine, and she's been, at a same job for 16, 20 years, and her husband too. They're both in that position. His company, and he's in the computer world, is merging with another company, and now he's afraid he may be eliminated. And she's like, I don't know what we're going to do. Like, we can't survive on my income. And then she mentioned to me that she's acquired credit card debt, and she looked at what her debt is and how long it's going to take her to possibly pay it off based on her income. And I didn't even reflect on it until I got off the phone with her. And I was like, we're so blessed because there are so many people. Most of the world lives on that fixed income. They get paid according to what their employer says they're worth. As entrepreneurs, we can get out there and work our faces off, and we get our value. And we're so blessed.
Yeah, so blessed. And that's viewers listening out there, take control. You either let someone else control the outcome of your inevitable future, and then you want to control, like, oh, I want new shoes, or I want to go to dinner, or I want to do these things. And so you get the credit cards to get those things, but then your employer is telling you how much you deserve to make, but then you could take control and you could be able to just a quarter turn, or just because of this podcast, or making an investment, or just quitting your job and going after your dreams and aspirations. There's so many opportunities out there for people that are listening and viewing right now. And that's a great story. And I think it'd be nice to have you back on and hear what happens with your friend and see if she gets into real estate, or maybe starts to invest with you and what have you. Cause sometimes it's the trials and the tribulations and the hard stuff that then, someone gets into a car accident, or they lose a leg, or whatever happens. And it's like they wake up, they're like, oh my God, I've been had blinders on the whole time. Now I can see. And so that's technically a blessing to your friend more than,
and everyone looks, and again, a lot of stuff is fake news on, Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. It's like, a lot of people post stuff that's not true. I get it. And a lot of people shouldn't go into business for themselves because it's not for everyone. It's 95% of the world are followers. There's 5% that are leaders. So you got to decide who you're going to follow and pay attention to who you're paying attention to. But at the end of the day, I think so many of us get consumed with trying to do what somebody else is doing, rather than like run your race, like lead your pack, like you decide what you're doing. Don't worry about what they're doing. You create your own way.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So someone who's probably looking and watching, at least on YouTube, if you're listening in YouTube, this is going to be the video portion of the show, so you can see it online as well as far as video. So tell us what the REIT stands for. So you have it there. You invest in RV parks and also REITs. What is that for our viewers and listeners if they want to invest into something like that?
Real estate investment trust, and there's a lot of them. In fact, we do it in multifamily. In our flips, we have our own kind of entity doing that, but multifamily as well. I'm invested in that and RV parks, because at the end of the day, it's all going into that bucket to create wealth. And you look at like, where's the world going? I follow Grant Cardone. I think he's a beast. And so it's like Grant Cardone's like, the world, unfortunately, is turning into a bunch of renters. And so apartment complexes are everywhere. Multifamily is everywhere. The more doors you own, the more money you're going to make. So it's like,
let's go.
Rather than go try to buy my own apartment complex, let me get in this REIT, this real estate investment trust, with all these other investors and go big and buy large. And then when it's sold, you get like way more than what you invested. 4 times, 10 times. What is that? It depends on the guy running the show, but at the end of the day, you can go further when you go together. You're better together.
Yes. So viewers listening out there, take note. That's something you could do. You don't have to get overwhelmed by buying a flip or getting overwhelmed with trying to be qualified to buy a potential apartment building. You can go in and invest and be a micro investor for a big opportunity. And I know that, shameless plug for Grant Cardone. I know that Cardone Capital, he has opportunities for you to invest into various different things like REITs, and you could be able to take your 401k and put it into something like that. And of course, there's going to be naysayers and things going on, but at the end of the day, I feel like Grant is probably one of the most real, authentic gentlemen out there. And I think that, love him or hate him for his personality type, he calls it for what it is. That could be a good investment source.
It is, but I will tell you though, because there's a lot of shady people out there. They're like, oh, invest with me. Be very careful. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for recommendations and referrals, and vet these people, because you're talking about money that you want back. Like, it's an investment. You want it to multiply, not shooting your shot like it's a gamble. Maybe we make it. No, it's coming back and then some. period.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing too, something that I've done is just the dollar cost average, whether it's commission or income coming in, take a piece of that dollar cost average, whether it's, stock market, cryptocurrency, whatever the case may be, do your research, right? Do due diligence. This is not financial advice. It's just something to think about for yourself. And it's been very fruitful on my end. So I love that.
Well, they tell you that real estate's one of the fastest ways to build wealth and the safest. Because I can get my hands on this stuff. I can get involved in it. You put your money in the bank or the stock market. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in that because you have no control of it whatsoever.
Yes. 100%. That's why I love the Robinhood apps, the crypto.com apps. So that way you can actually do your research, go on YouTube, watch videos, go into the app, then you can start investing. And the biggest thing that I love is anything that's going to give me a return on investment on a quarterly basis. So I like those dividend paying stocks. So I can make that Kevin O'Leary talks about it. Want my soldiers to go out, work for me and bring back money. And
you got to pay attention. Like, just like you said, Kevin O'Leary, the guy knows what he's talking about. He's freaking smart as crap. Pay attention to these people, Why do you want to try to figure it out on your own? Stop the madness.
100%. I absolutely love that. So let's go a little bit into some technical stuff. So say someone's kind of going through it right now. They have people around them that just isn't serving them. Maybe they got out of the business or they had to go back to a job because 60,000 plus agents got out of the business, according to NAR, in 2023. So what would you give some advice as far as from the mindset perspective, some things that they specifically could do, a book they could read, a process they can follow? Of course, they can follow you, but what would you recommend, Tricia, for them?
You got to plan your day, figure out what a perfect day looks like for you. For me, it's 4 a.m. wake up call, and I spend anywhere from 3 to 3.5 hours getting my mind, body, and soul right. I believe everybody should work out. I believe everybody should be reading, and everybody should be listening to podcasts while they're putting their makeup on or getting ready for the day. Don't listen to music. You need to get your brain right. And then organize your day. Like, number one, if you got nothing in your pipeline and you're in real estate, then you better be on the phones. And if you don't know who to call, that's a whole nother story, but you need to be on the phones. You need to be on social media. You need to be in networking groups. And you need to be doing it for 3 to 4 hours every single day, 5 days a week minimum. And then you should be on appointments at 1, 3, and 5 in that afternoon. Your mornings are spent building your pipeline. Your afternoons are spent servicing that. And if you don't have appointments, you get out there and make it happen. You go door knocking. You're out building with businesses, with builders. You're out there talking to people and getting in people's faces and reminding them that you sell real estate. And you got to become the market expert. Consumers are demanding it. They don't want somebody that sells a couple of homes a year and thinks they're an expert. No, because I'm going to tell you something. If you walk in somebody's door and they know more than you do, you're done. So become the expert.
Wow. I love that. Rewind, watch that back, take some notes. Let's go. You can take that to the bank. One thing, speaking about, being an area expert and understanding your market and understanding whether it's average days on market or looking at the comps in the area is YouTube. I'm seeing a lot of agents on YouTube now filming content around schools, parks, restaurants, what have you. I know a lot of people are recording information as far as in your area, Houston, Texas, relocating, right? Moving to Texas. Right. And talking about the areas and talking about the new builds, because that's a way I feel like you can leverage your past efforts for your future successes. It's not super hard. Just, use your smartphone, keep it simple, get a mic, make sure it's not super windy, put it on YouTube, Canva for thumbnail, write some copy, use freaking ChatGPT, and you're off to the races.
You just said it right there. Use ChatGPT. It is your assistant.
It is your assistant. Yes. I'm right there with you when it comes to like reading and writing. I'm actually writing a book as well. So I use my time during flights to be able to write a book.
Yeah.
Thinking so it will be. I haven't really talked about that publicly before because it's kind of behind the scenes. My uncle said something about me writing a book, and then you're writing a book. So I was inspired here to say something. But it's so true. You could actually speak it into ChatGPT and then it'll just give you the information. Wham, bam, thank you. As simple. I love that.
Yeah. And like you can create content on it. You can ask ChatGPT, like, what are the top 10 seller concerns right now in Houston, Texas? Boom.
Video.
Yes. Then you got 10 videos.
Yeah. And then instead of going to the formal listing presentation and talking about it all, you can send them an email. I want to say John Chaplep talked about this.
Yes.
Oh, no, it was Bill Pipes. John Pipes, I think both. We're talking about, yeah, right. Before you go to your formal listing presentation, send an email. In the email, you're going to have A, B, C, D. Could be a video, could be average days on market, could be also comps in the area. And you come in with that email already sent out, where them already looking at it, and it's automatically like, whoa, this person's an authority. Absolutely love it. Amazing.
I tell you what, too, and everyone needs to focus on energy. Like, people don't want you showing up their door like, woe is me, Debbie Downer, hating their life. Don't even show up. Like,
yes.
Energy. And if you don't have it, fake it for sure.
Hey, I love that. I love that. And if you follow your passion, viewers and listeners out there, follow your passion, the energy will come. I truly believe it. So that's why before coming in, the energy was, then after Tricia, you came in, I was like, oh, let's go. I'm excited. So I appreciate you giving me some of your energy. So we're coming to the end of our episode. On every single podcast, we like to leave our viewers and listeners with something they can take to their business. So apply to business today. You can talk about something you're working on. Go follow our links are all down below. Of course, there's a segment where you already said, start your morning, focus on you and go through that process. But is there anything specifically you want to leave for our viewers and listeners as we end out our show today?
You guys, like, I've been doing real estate for 22 years. I'm a big believer in being trained at a high level and being a high producer. Why do you want to sell 2 homes when you can sell 2,000? So if you don't know how to get your mind right, you don't know how to get your training right, you don't know who to listen to, who to pay attention to, just go to one of our websites. The best one is calltriciaturner.com. There you can schedule a call. You can get access to our university, get access to my calendar, all that stuff. And we can make it happen for you.
Wow. Let's go. This was absolutely amazing. Tricia, thanks so much for being on Real Estate versus Technology. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving how you're giving back, and I'm loving how you're building this ecosystem that's more than just real estate. But real estate was the first point of interest that now has catapulted and just went into all these different directions. So congratulations to you and all your success, and really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Of course. And viewers, listeners out there, go follow, go like, go connect with Tricia. Subscribe to our podcast episode. Big thanks to Liftoff Agent for sponsoring the show. And it is our intention for you to take these from episodes and apply to your business, have more massive success. And we'll see you all on the next one.